Hello everybody, this is Anime X 2Jix, also known as Anime X Chaos, and I am going over my top 50 favorite games in no order whatsoever. I'm going to start off today with an old school favorite of mine from the Nintendo 64, game called Ogre Battle 64. Now, I'm majority, you're probably not even gonna see this video besides my friends on like Facebook and Twitter, unless you already know what this game is, because you're not gonna search for fucking Ogre Battle 64. But it was one of my favorite games on Nintendo 64, hands down. It's as far as story goes, you know, it follows the basic plot of most war games nowadays. There's a revolutionary faction that no longer likes the fact that, you know, the rich remain rich and the poor stay poor, you know. So they rebel, and your guy is a fresh recruit in the royal army, and, you know, eventually he goes through his mission, switches sides, joins the revolution, fights for equality throughout the world. A lot of crazy supernatural demon type shit starts to kick in at the end, but I won't ruin the game for those of you who haven't played it and will go play it after watching this video. That's enough of that. I'll move on to what really caught me about this game were two things, actually. One was the music in the game. The music in this game is amazing, especially considering this is way back before voice acting was really a big major thing in video games, back when it was all text based and you had to rely, game producers had to rely on the music to tell you how to feel, tell you to how sad or intense the scene you are currently reading is. And the music in this game does an extraordinary job of doing that. And the battle soundtrack, the intro music, everything about all the music in this game is fucking wonderful. And then thing after that also caught my attention is the gameplay itself. It's really easy pick up and play, simple enough for me and my like 8-year-old age. I don't know how young I was when I played it. I was pretty young to pick up and play through with a few hitches here and there, but with enough depth for me to come back years later and thoroughly enjoy the game through and through. Because there's so many classes, between the males and females. Each of them had their own individual stat growth. Of course, like any game, there are classes that are pretty much just overpower the rest of them. There's no point in using other than maybe about 10 of the classes in the game if you're going for a power run. But there are enough classes to individualize each of your small units in your army to, just fool around. Ninjas, knights, spellcasters, wizards, witches, and they have a bunch of monster classes, the Cerberus, the Cockatrice, the Griffin, all different types of dragons, and this broken ass thing called a Pumpkinhead. I won't go too much into details about that, all of that, because I'm trying to keep the video within time constraints, but Pumpkinheads are fucking broken. And then and the thing about it is there's so much underlying content in this game that you don't get when you first pick it up and play it. You might not realize how much there is to this game, how much depth is actually going into the party that you put together, considering that it's not just a simple, throw a bunch of knights on the team and let them tank things. If you want to play it that way, yes, I guess I could say it is that simple, but there's so much more depth to everything that you might not see, might not realize is there until you go back I didn't realize half the stuff was in the game. It's like my third time playing it. Like small things like your character's element type. If you equip, say, a fire element character with a fire element weapon, they'll do additional damage than if you equip them with another element weapon. Or things like having a party full of mages. Once they get to the team morale to a certain point, which is a hidden stat you'll never find out, you'll just know when it gets high enough, they'll combine spells to one guy who mixes fireball with another guy's thunderbolt to create a whole new spell that does more damage and hits more people. You know, little things like that. Stuff like there's a class called a cataphract. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. And it grants the whole party a 20% boost in defense altogether. Just having one in the party boosts the defense of the entire party. You have like Beastmasters, Dragon Tamers. They boost the stats of monsters or dragons, and I'm not mistaken, enchanters make golems stronger, which are another monster type in the game. It's just little stuff like little tiny bits, things like that you come back and you and that's just scratching the surface. To go deeper into the game, where chaotic alignment classes do more damage at nighttime than and lawful units do more damage in the daytime. All of this, that you don't even realize is in the game. You come back and in the research, in the playing the game and reading, different online wikis and websites about it, I come to find there's so much more to this game that I never knew and never realized was there when I was freaking 12 playing it. And it's one of the games that sticks out of my mind, and I'll probably years from now, just like I did recently, pick up a ROM and run through it again just for old time's sake. And that's pretty much all I'm ramble on about this game. I'm not sure where I'll go next, but that's Ogre Battle 64. You can find ROMs for it all over the internet. I say if you've never played it before and you have a little free time, sit down with this classic Nintendo 64 game and give it a run. Like I said, it's Animax 2Jakes, Animax Gamers. You can get me 2Jakes Jr. on Xbox Live, 2Jakes Jr. on PlayStation Nation. So subscribe, leave a comment, like, dislike, whatever you want to do. Close out the window. I'll see you guys in my next video.